In a quiet, small town, surrounded by endless fields and fading sunsets, lived a boy named Ethan. Everyone called him lazy, but deep down, Ethan wasn't lazy. He was afraid of failing, afraid of starting, afraid of facing himself. Every morning, he whispered the same lie: "I'll start tomorrow." Tomorrow, he'd study harder. Tomorrow, he'd chase his dreams. Tomorrow, he'd become the person he always wanted to be. But tomorrow never came. Days turned into weeks. His books gathered dust. His goals faded like old photographs. And at night, he'd stare at the stars, wondering, why can't I change? Why do I keep waiting? But the stars never answered. One evening, his father sat beside him in silence. After a long pause, he said softly, "Son, do you know what's heavier than failure?" Ethan looked up, confused. His father smiled, sadly, and said, "The weight of regret." Those words hit him deep. But still, Ethan did what he always did. He pushed change to tomorrow. A few days later, the town announced a small 5-kilometer marathon. Ethan's best friend, Ryan, asked him to join. Ethan laughed. "I can't even run a mile, man. Maybe next time. Maybe tomorrow." Ryan smiled and replied, "Tomorrow is a dream, Ethan. It doesn't exist. All we have is today." That night, Ethan couldn't sleep. Ryan's words kept replaying in his head. He thought about every promise he had broken to himself, every dream he had buried under someday. And in that darkness, something inside him finally broke and then awakened. Before sunrise, he got up. The world was quiet. The air was cold. He tied his old shoes, stepped outside, and began to run. His legs felt heavy. His breath burned. Everything in him wanted to stop, but he didn't. He kept going. Even if it was slow, even if it was painful. Because for the first time, he wasn't waiting for motivation, he was creating it. When he returned home, exhausted but alive, he wrote 3 words on a piece of paper: "No more tomorrows." From that day, Ethan made a promise to move forward, no matter how small the step. He ran every morning, he studied daily, he helped his parents, and slowly, something changed inside him. The same people who once called him lazy began to notice his glow, his focus, his strength, his peace. Ethan wasn't just building habits, he was building a mindset. A strong one, the kind that doesn't wait for the perfect time. It creates it. Weeks passed. The marathon day arrived. Hundreds gathered at the starting line, but Ethan wasn't nervous. He was grateful. When the whistle blew, he ran, not to win, but to prove that he had already won. He remembered every early morning, every ounce of effort, every moment he refused to quit. And when he crossed the finish line, tears filled his eyes. He didn't come first, but for the first time in his life, he felt unstoppable. A few days later, Ethan saw a young boy sitting alone near the playground. He looked sad. Ethan sat beside him and asked, "What's wrong?" The boy sighed, "I'm not good at this game. I'll practice tomorrow." Ethan smiled, remembering his past self. He placed a hand on the boy's shoulder and said, "Listen, kid, tomorrow is just a trap. Everything you need is already inside you today. Start small, but start now." The boy nodded, stood up, and ran toward the game. And Ethan smiled because he realized something powerful. He wasn't just changing his life anymore. He was inspiring others to change theirs too. Ethan's story isn't about running. It's about the battle we all face between who we are and who we could be. So if you're waiting for the right time, the right feeling, the perfect chance, stop. The right time is now.